I sit in a very unique seat in the U.S. marketplace and on Wall Street, in that I traded for a long period of time. I've written a couple of books. I am a managing partner of a firm, and because of that, I get to meet a lot of people like yourself who are aspiring traders and developing traders who perhaps other people don't get to meet and talk to you and understand what your frustrations are and what you do and what you're trying to accomplish. And I meet with experienced traders. I had lunch with two very successful Chicago options traders. I mean, these are heavy hitters. Tomorrow morning, I will go to lunch with a very famous options trader that everybody sees on TV. I get emails from people that are succeeding or failing that share with me because we share with the community. And I've written a couple of books, and people that's helped them or given them ideas. And so and then we train traders here from scratch, and we've done it for a long period of time. So I get a lot of information, and I get a lot of case studies on who's doing well and why, and who's doing poorly and why. And so the uniqueness of SMBU is we share that with you guys. I am not hypothesizing about whether or not something works or doesn't work. I am sharing with you case studies of real people who are trading either here or connected to us. In most of these cases, these are people here who are succeeding or finally succeeded, and why. And we're studying those people. Okay, so I'm not going to say to you, do this, if I hadn't seen it be successful with somebody that we're putting money behind, we're bringing up the curve, okay? So find your edge. And the case study here is Tebow. So I don't know if you guys know who Tim Tebow is. Do you know who Tim Tebow is? All right. Okay. So Tim Tebow is the epitome of the all-American boy. Great athlete, very handsome, was the Heisman Trophy winner in college. So he was the best football player in college a couple of years ago. And there is a trader who I have traded with and we work with who reminds me of him, of Tim Tebow. And actually, in One Good Trade, I gave him the nickname Tebow because he reminds me of the all-American boy, Tim Tebow. And he actually sits on our desk presently. This trader had traded for a long time previously, got out of the game, and then has come back into it. And upon coming back into it, he's got to reinvent himself. He made a lot of money doing X, Y, Z, and now, like you guys, he's trying to figure out, well, what kind of a trader he is for this market. And the other day, we were having a chat. We went to grab something for lunch, and he was talking about how he felt like he had a really good day. And he had done terribly. In fact, he was stopped out for the day. But he had an epiphany, which was what he had done in the morning was not going to work for him. He had traded something that was too fast for his type of trading. It was moving too quickly. I actually did this a little bit yesterday in the SPYs right after the Fed announcement. I don't tend to trade the Fed when it's moving quickly right after the Fed announcement particularly well. In fact, one of our traders who's very rarely negative gave back $3,000 trading the SPYs, and I actually can't remember him trading a stock and losing money in a very long period of time, and I was kind of making fun of him about it. But trading the SPYs right after the Fed meeting can be difficult. It's fast. It takes a certain type of trader. Shark actually traded it very well. but I made a little bit of a mistake. I lost a little bit of money at the beginning, and then I made it back when I stepped into a pattern that fit my personality. And so, you know, you'll always struggle with this. You'll create your playbook, you'll understand your strengths, and then, you know, you'll get in a trade that's not good for your personality, and when you become a better trader, you'll catch yourself pretty quickly. But you'll still struggle with this. But this trader, I thought, had a really nice breakthrough, even though he was stopped out for the day, in that not only did he understand why he didn't do well for that day, but he identified very clearly the types of trades he wanted to make going forward. And he said, I want to make second day trades. Those are the types of trades that fit my strengths. I'm really good preparing. I'm really good watching and seeing that there's most likely going to be a move on a short-term basis in a stock by reading the tape. And I feel comfortable trading these types of setups. And so I want to trade a second day play. I want to trade a stock that's in play on day one when there's a really, really big level that develops and it's trending in a certain direction during a day, and then it continues in that direction. You know, so for instance, OPHT the other day when it got below 85 cents. For instance, VCell the other day. For instance, SPYs yesterday at a certain point. It doesn't necessarily matter the particular setups, but he had identified what he can do well. And that's what you guys got to start thinking about. Don't think about how to make a lot of money. Think about, all right, here's a setup, I'm going to try it, does it make sense for me? It's incredibly important. Not only is it important for you to have a system like that, but you need a coach and a mentor that will be able to help you in that type of system as well. This is a case study of one of the guys who I've talked about in the past, who was a $4,000 to $8,000 trader. These are his results from last month. He made $181,000. I actually think it leaves off some options trading that he did. But if you notice, he was negative 2 days. I've actually shared prior to this a month he had in July, I believe, and he was negative 1 day that month. So he's regressing here. He was negative 2 days out of the month, but he made $181,000, and he was negative 2 days. And when he was negative, he was probably down only $1,000, which gross he probably would have been flat, but he trades a lot, so it may have just been commissions to Goldman Sachs. So we don't charge our traders commissions. We pass along costs. So I think Goldman Sachs made money, and I'm not even sure he lost money overall. But those are his net numbers. And he's just scalping. He's just scalping. He's not doing some grand research. He's not predicting that markets are going to go up or down. He's not predicting stocks are going to go up or down. He's scalping. He's watching markets. He's looking for levels where he has edge. He's watching the tape, and he's reacting. And a lot of people always say, well, you can't make a lot of money scalping. Okay. Well, that's a case study. If that's not a lot of money, then good for you. Good for you. If making $200,000 in a month with 2 negative down days, and those down days being $1,000, if that's not good for you, then I'd really like to see your system. Well, there's our number at the bottom. I would love to talk to you because you are a superstar. Please give us a call. So I had this thought the other day, and I was in this MGM. You guys remember when there was the announcement that Japan was going to legalize gambling? So the gamers were doing really well on that day. And I was watching them, and I noticed that all of the gamers were above VWAP, one of the indicators we really like to watch. And so I had missed most of the trade in the gamers to the upside. I believe we talked about them in one of our 11 o'clock AM meetings, and one of our newer traders, Christian, did a really great job. Did a really great job capturing the up move in LVS.
Yeah, LVS.
Yeah.
I think he was doing the MGM as well.
Okay. Did a really nice job hawking the gamers and seeing the spot where there was a good risk reward, and then putting on a trade that fit his personality. And here's an example where I make a trade that just does not fit my personality. I get in the stock. As you see, I'm getting in because it's pulling into VWAP. I'm noticing that all of the gamers are above VWAP. And I'm saying to myself, I'm going to swing it to the upside. I think this might finish high of day because it's got a news catalyst behind it. And I'm ready to go. The problem is that this is just not a good trade for me. It's not the right time for me to be making a swing trade. I need to be in this earlier for the type of swing trade that I do to make sense. I've got to be in earlier to capture more of that move to the upside. I need to be in closer to where Christian was in. So, maybe around that 10:30 area when it stops going down and it doesn't make another low. I need to sort of catch that wedge pattern, sit in it, maybe trade it against the low. So let me sort of point this out. Maybe Kurt, you can help us with editing, but maybe somewhere holding above here with a stop below here. I need to be in this. The trend line's done, and sort of swing it. And I need to be in it from all the way over here and capture a lot of this up move, and then probably decide I don't really like it anymore here, and sort of be flat. Same idea, but one trade is a good trade that works for me, and that trade is just, it's too middle of the day-ish. I've missed too much of the move-ish, and it doesn't fit my personality. It's too slow of a trade with too little risk. It also has too much of an ability to wick out for me that makes sense. And so when I'm in it, I immediately say to myself, why am I in this trade? I mean, literally, I put the bid in, I get hit, and I'm like, why am I in this trade? What am I doing? And one of the things, and what happens? I get stopped out. And I said to myself, good, I'm glad you got stopped out. I'm glad you didn't make money in that trade. You deserve to get stopped out. And I don't actually even think the trade was a bad trade. I think it was a bad trade for me. That's my point. And the saving grace for this trade was I was small in it. I was stupid enough to get in it. But I was small and tight in it. So I didn't end up losing. I think I ended up losing like $200 in the trade. But that's $200 too many. And, when you are talking about trading frustration, a lot of trading frustration comes from you lacking edge. I lack edge in this type of trade. I just do. Okay, the market doesn't care that I've written 2 books and that I run a firm. It doesn't care. I personally lack edge in that type of trade. I need to stop making that trade.
Welcome to The Winning Trader. The number one factor in whether you trade profitably is what? It's whether you are trading setups that have trading edge. We recently surveyed our trading community as to what would help them the most. The response was overwhelmingly universal. You were most interested in learning trading strategies that you could implement profitably. Or said another way, to solve the problem faced by most traders of lacking setups with trading edge. So with that, here at SMBU, today we introduce The Winning Trader. You will learn 10 trading strategies taught to and traded daily on our professional proprietary trading desk in New York City. Here are the 4 steps to how SMB will teach you these strategies. 1, we will hold an online live trading class sharing each setup weekly. 2, for the following week, you will archive a playbook trade that we teach you how to do of this setup daily. 3, during our daily mentoring sessions, to which you will have complete access. We will review these setups from that day's trading. 4, you will have complete access to all of our trading tools that will help you spot these setups during market trading and follow along with us, trading them in real time. Take the first step towards becoming a winning trader. Enter your email here to learn more about The Winning Trader.